Currently, the 2020 Olympics are taking place in Tokyo, of course delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Olympics are a huge deal and they cover a multitude of different events. Now, I don't cover sports on this channel as the channel is all about nature. However, believe it or not, nature and the Olympics have a lot more in common than most people realize. So, in this video, in honor of the games, I want to talk about animals in the Olympics. Today, the only event in the modern Olympic Games that uses animals is equestrianism. Now, this is a broad term that covers a variety of events involving horses. These include dressage, eventing, and jumping. To sum each one up, dressage is like horse ballet. It is designed to show off the horse's athletic prowess and elegance. It is essentially a display of the rider's control and the horse's ability to take commands. Eventing is like a triathlon for horses, as described by the Olympic website. It includes dressing and jumping, but also includes a cross-country event, which is like an obstacle course. Horses go pretty fast during this part of the triathlon, and it is said to be one of the more exciting parts of it. Jumping, as the name implies, is well jumping. The horses go through a course that is changed each time around, and they have to avoid knocking things over. Doing so nets a penalty, and so on. While today, equestrianism is the only animal event in the Olympics, that has not always been the case. The 1900 Olympics featured pigeon shooting, which, as you can probably assume, was the sport of shooting pigeons. A lot of pigeons.
I'm in danger!
The pigeons were locked in a cage, then released from the cage, and the competitor would then have to, well... Australian competitor Donald McIntosh shot the most at 22 birds. However, it is believed 300 birds were killed during this event. Now, I will say that while this happened at the Olympics, the 1900 Olympics were kind of different than Olympics today. See, these were only the second modern Olympics, so things were a lot looser. What I mean by that is that the pigeon shooting event is disputed as to if it was an official event or not, even if it happened at the Olympics with monetary prizes. Today, the Olympic Committee basically says we don't have a stance on it either way. A large part of this might come from the outrage following this event. After the 1900 Olympics, this event was ultimately ended, and in the United States, pigeon shooting was all-out banned in 1902, just 2 years later. Now, for a little more light-hearted one involving birds, Papingo. Papingo has only been an event in the Olympics twice, the 1900 Olympics and the 1920 Olympics. Papingo is also known as popinjay or pole archery. Now, pole archery is a sport where a model bird is placed upon a tall pole and an archer is tasked with knocking it off that pole. This sport is incredibly popular with the Belgians, and for the 1920 Olympics, the Belgians pretty much dominated. Well, that's also because it was only Belgium, France, and the Netherlands competing in archery at all. Oh, and the 1920 Olympics were also hosted in Antwerp, Belgium. Go figure. Outside of events, animals have been used in Olympic demonstrations. Dog sled racing was displayed at the 1932 Winter Olympics in Lake Placid, New York, and skijoring was displayed in the 1928 Winter Olympics in St. Moritz, Switzerland. Now, skijoring is a sport where a person on skis is being pulled by a horse, a snowmobile, a car, so on. It started out, however, with the Sami, who did this with reindeer. The 1928 Olympic Games version was with a horse, however, likely because I don't think the Sami people would have readily shipped out their important reindeer to Switzerland. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I actually learned a lot during the research for this video, so hopefully you guys learned something as well. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like. If you disliked the video, it's okay, I'll just go cry in my bathroom. If you want more content like this, feel free to subscribe, and until next time, take care.